Welcome to the Overlady Reads, the show where I, the Overlord, have a wife, the Overlady, who reads. And this time, you've read Rhythm of War Part 1.
I did.
But that's not all, because I also read Rhythm of War Part 1.
Yeah,
so
you did.
This is exciting, guys. This is new ground.
Yeah.
And
new book.
New book. And I'm just really excited to have a new book.
Yeah, aren't we all?
So this one is going to be a little bit different as well, because we don't really need to do a recap, because we assume you're reading this or you're watching this just after you've read Rhythm of War.
Yeah.
Or as you're reading Rhythm of War.
If you are not, read it first and then watch this, otherwise it's going to be spoiled.
Hey guys, Editor Ben here. I'm recording this separately because I kind of realized when we recorded the video, we didn't really mention the fact that we'll only be talking about Rhythm of War Part 1, because over the past few months, Tor.com have been releasing Rhythm of War Part 1 week to week, and so right now, as we are, all of Rhythm of War Part 1 is out, and the link will be in the description to all of those chapters, so make sure you've either read Rhythm of War Part 1 because you're watching this after the book came out, or you're reading Rhythm of War Part 1 because you read it on the Tor.com. So this is your spoiler warning for Rhythm of War Part 1. Will only be spoiling Rhythm of War Part 1 in this video. Okay, bye.
This is your spoiler warning.
Yes.
If you watch past this point, it is on you.
Yes, because we haven't really put spoiler warnings in the other one because the books were 10 years old.
Yeah.
And it was pretty obvious, but if you haven't read Rhythm of War, go away. Away with you. Shall we jump into Rhythm of War Part 1?
Yes.
Cool.
So, we start with Kaladin. We don't start with Kaladin.
Yeah, we start
in Hearthstone with Rlain.
Yes.
And the Fused are now in control of Hearthstone.
Yeah.
And we're with Rlain, who is obviously a surgeon, so he's seeing to the refugees that are coming into the town whilst they're being processed by the Fused, so the Fused can work
they're looking
out.
for people, aren't
they?
Yeah.
So the Fused are searching the people as they come in. Rlain is performing minor medical things and helping to direct people to where they need to go.
Yeah.
According to injuries. And the Mink arrives.
Yes.
And Rlain has to find a way to smuggle the Mink in, because the Mink is one of the people they're looking for.
Yes.
And the Mink is a Heraldian?
Yes, well done. You got that first try.
General who helped to keep the Fused out of Herdaz for months on end, because this book is a year after the last book.
Yeah.
So he led a big
a rebellion or resistance kind of thing.
So they're currently searching for him. So Rlain's got to try and sneak him into the town.
Because Dalinar's also searching for him.
Yeah. And he knows that Kaladin is on his way to retrieve him.
Yeah. And so it's tense. I like it.
And then Kaladin arrives, but he's been spotted on his way in by the Fused.
Let's be fair, stealth is not Kaladin's strong suit. He's the type that just makes dramatic overtures.
No. He tried to come in stealthily, but the fog cleared up and they saw him flying, so they obviously knew who he was.
Yeah.
So he turns around to the Fused and he's like, "Get out now.
Yeah.
This is your warning. If you are still here within the next hour, you will suffer."
Yeah.
So the Fused leave, and Rlain's like, "Mate, could have been a bit more subtle." Kaladin's like, "That's not my style."
He's like, nah,
you got my Mink. He's like, "Yeah, I got your Mink. He's in the barn."
Yeah. They go check the barn. He's not in the barn.
Mink likes to hide constantly. That's his thing. He likes to just randomly disappear, vanish. Is he a Khandra?
I don't think so.
Constantly changing form.
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure he's not.
He probably won't be.
He probably won't be.
Maybe he's one of those people that's the aliens that's made out of all the crabs.
Maybe.
Maybe that's how he hides so much.
That's how he hides so much.
That is when the thing that Kaladin has been hinting at arrives. We get the
fourth bridge.
Yeah.
Which is Navani's giant flying ship. We finally have airships, guys.
Yeah, boy.
It's exciting. I mean, it's a very rudimentary flying brick.
Yeah.
It hangs in the air, similar to the way that bricks don't.
Yeah.
And I'm super excited about having a flying airship because I can't wait to see where this goes.
Yeah.
So it's made by like hundreds of Fabrials, hundreds of conjoined Fabrials in the span reads, in the ship, and then there's one on the Shattered Plains, which is pulled by chulls, which make it go forward because they can isolate the plane of movement, which I think means if I'm going in a forward direction, if I like go left or right, that's still only the forward direction is translated.
Yeah.
Because then what that means is they can like walk in a circle and it goes forward. What it does mean is that they need a second Fabrial at Irithiru that goes up and down the outside of the tower to make it rise and fall. And I'm like, cool. This is great. This is not what I thought they'd do for airships. I thought they were going to have gravitation Fabrials.
Yeah.
And this is definitely will not scale very well. I think Navani even says that this won't scale.
This is temporary.
This is temporary.
Until they can find a better technology.
Yeah, and so I'm like, I like it. I think it's cool. I really like it. So yeah, Fourth Bridge arrives with like a contingent of Windrunners. They fight the Fuse, and there's a big sky battle. The Shanaim is what they're called, the Heavenly Ones. It's the brand of Fused that flies. And
took me a minute.
Yeah, and like they have a cool system where they fight honorably.
Yeah.
And so they fight like 1-on-1. Which part of me thinks this is Brandon's way of being like, I like writing 1-on-1 sky battles. Writing 30-on-30 sky battles is really, really messy and hard. So I'm just going to have it split off into 30 1-on-1 battles, and that's much nicer and easier to write. But I mean, they are exciting and cool.
Yeah.
So yes, then, well, what happens? Oh, Dalinar brings the realms together. He can just summon that perp whenever he needs it. Recharges all the radiance, and they have a great time.
Yeah. Dalinar is just
a big old battery.
Yeah. So cool.
Yeah. I like this utilization of Dalinar's powers.
Yeah.
It's cool that he can just summon that whenever, and I'm like good.
Yeah.
I'm glad it wasn't just like a one-off thing.
Yeah.
So yes, when they split off into these one-on-one battles, you then get Kaladin fighting Leshwi, which is great. I am a big fan of Kaladin and Leshwi, and I want those two to be friends.
You want to ship them, do you?
I want to ship the hell out of them. I am such a fan of Leshwi. They are fantastic. They are great together. Yeah. And like, yeah.
Do you know what? I see it.
Yeah. Like, you know, I never thought I'd ship Kaladin with like a Fused, but you know what? I see it. I could see it working. I could see them going on flights together and like hanging out.
Like, if she seems to be one of the normal ones.
Yes.
And I think those two would make a good.
So yeah, so he fights Leshwi, then he loses her, and then we get introduced to a new Fused, which is I'm 99.999% sure this is going to be our transportation Fuse, using the Surge of Transportation to like teleport, and like this dude's real lethal. He is like teleporting, covered in spikes, not like little spikes, but spikes big enough for him to snap them off and use them as knives. Like,
it's hot.
And like this dude is. I really enjoyed this fight. It was cool to see a new Fused because I like the Fused brands.
I look forward to meeting more types of Fused.
Oh god, yeah! Can you imagine what like the Division Fused is going to be like? And so they're fighting more. And he almost kills Kaladin because he knows how to fight Radiance.
Yeah.
Which is terrifying because that's kind of what they've been relying on is the inexperienced of the enemy of fighting people.
He kind of knows to try and draw out as much Stormlight from him as possible because once he's not got Stormlight, he can't heal himself. Yeah, he grabs onto Kaladin in the air and just starts stabbing him in the back of the spine, and he's like, I'm not even gonna let you. I'm like, he just keeps going, and Kaladin's like, I can't even breathe because like I can't even breathe in more Stormlight because like my spine keeps getting severed, and I'm like, damn, that's a talent. That's an effective technique, that is. So yes, I'm a big fan of this big transportation Fused, and I am looking forward to seeing more of them because oh my god. Yeah.
One theory I have as well is there was a bit in... Do you remember the Pure Lake flashback? Sorry, not the Pure Lake flashback. The Shattered Plains flashback for you. The one where they're in the sea and you see Thunderclast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and you think it's Shattered Plains.
Shattered Plains.
Yeah.
It is.
And they see like a red spren like darting through the water.
Yeah.
And I've always wondered, is that like just a normal fused, or is that like a normal void spren? Or was that one of these types of fused like darting about?
I reckon it was.
Yeah. And so I think he's a very cool... I'm looking forward to seeing more of that.
Same.
Yeah.
I'm super excited.
Yeah, and then they so they get all the people on the airship, but then there was some people left in the manor, in Roshone's manor.
So Rashone goes back to rescue them, and like the fighting in the air is now finished.
Yeah.
They've kind of like bowed to each other to say good fight.
Yeah.
Because that's sort of like one of the things that's interesting about this battle system that they have. Is that at any point you can bow to your opponent and be like, you've beaten me.
And they'll go and stand to the side.
And they will leave and like let you live.
It's very, very odd way of doing war.
It's how I think Kaladin saves Sigzil from Leshwi by being like, bow out or she will kill you. Yeah. So he does.
Yeah.
And
then he either before or after that gets one of the flying fused to like bow out. And like he doesn't kill them, and so like Leshwi allows them to like does that. Yeah,
like it's a really cool system.
It's very honourable, which is not surprising considering who the fused gods used to be. Yeah,
but knowing that there's still a couple of people left, Kaladin goes to retrieve them from the manor. Yeah, I'll let you talk about the Fabrial.
So they go into Kaladin goes into the manor after one of the edge dancers who's gone ahead of him. I think Teki. And the pursuer is in there with a couple of regals, and they activate a Fabrial, which turns off their powers.
It blocks Stormlight.
Blocks Stormlight from being actively used, because he can still, it still is raging inside him, still heals him, but, he can't lash things.
Yeah. Or fly.
Yeah. But, he can't lash himself, yeah. And so they fight, and then even without his Stormlight, he still manages to kill the pursuer and things. And they're like, "Man, he must have some special power because he managed to kill us even without his Stormlight." And it's like, nah, that's just Kaladin for you, mate. That's just Kaladin.
Love Kaladin.
He's great.
Whilst this is going on, the manor is on fire. Yeah. And so Kaladin is running through this on fire manor to try and get to the people in the basement. He gets down to the basement, and the people are because they're prisoners.
They're chained up.
So they're chained up to the walls. And as he approaches, he realizes that they've been killed with a shard blade. Yeah. And then he turns, and Roshone is being held by Moash with the knife to his throat. Yeah. Why is he here?
You just didn't even want Moash around in this book.
No, I never want Moash around. If he could have died in that year gap, I would not have been upset. And if he had just been replaced by either a human or a fused or someone that was identical to him but with a different name, I legit would be fine with that.
You realise what you've just said, right? I've got some good news for you. Moash did die and was replaced by the same character with a different name.
No.
He was replaced by a gentleman named Vaya.
I refuse to acknowledge this new name.
Yeah, I won't even I don't respect that name.
No. I just don't see the point in it.
No.
But he then kills
Roshone
because Roshone's the one he's had the beef with all along.
Yeah.
And he starts talking to Kaladin. He's like, "You can't save anyone. We will kill them all. You're wasting your time. You may as well just kill yourself now, Kaladin. Your existence is pointless."
Yeah, he gets real dark in that moment, doesn't he?
Yeah. Yeah. And then Kaladin, for some reason, doesn't kill him. Moash is literally there, "Kill me, mate. We're both gonna die anyway, just kill me."
He kind of shuts down, doesn't he?
He shuts down. I just wish he had killed him.
Yeah.
I just really wish he had killed him.
Yeah.
Nothing would have made me happier in that moment unless he had killed him.
Yeah.
But essentially, Kaladin freezes up. He can't bring himself to kill him.
Yeah.
Kaladin just goes back out to the airship.
No, do you not remember what happens?
No.
Renarin turns up.
Oh,
Renarin saves him.
I'll let you go on from there then.
Yeah, so Renarin saves him, and Renarin just turns up like glowing, godly, and like even the text in the book is like he was glowing like a demigod or like a radiant deity, and I'm like, Brandon, are you setting up Renarin to be a shard, like a vessel?
Please,
are
because,
you,
oh boy,
Brandon? Is that what's happening here? Because like I'm totally okay with that as well.
I'm so okay with this. Like, I love Renarin. I want more Renarin, please.
Yes,
give me more Renarin.
Don't worry, you'll get it in the book when he gets his book in 15 years.
Yeah, but Renarin is only in this chapter, in part 1. This is the only time you see Renarin.
You might be correct on that. Yes. So then they retreat back into the airship and it flies away. But should we quickly switch over to what Shallan's up to?
Yes.
Yes.
So whilst this is going on, Shallan has been trying to infiltrate the Sons of Honor, which was Gavilar's
secret society. Oh my god, did you just say Gavilar, think it was wrong, and laugh again?
Yes.
Because Gavilar is correct.
It just doesn't sound right. It's weird that it's the only name that I get correct.
It is weird that it's the only name you get correct. No, don't leave Jix out, you know. You also get Jix right.
No.
Yeah.
I need to clear this up now.
Oh no, what did you do?
You know how you told me that J's are actually Y's?
Yeah.
It means that Jix is actually Yix.
And Jushu is actually Yushu, yes.
So I'm really sorry, guys. I got Jix wrong because Jix isn't Jix, it's Yix.
It's Yix.
I'm sorry, I misled you all.
Anyway,
so we then go to Shallan, who has been infiltrating the Sons of Honor. And at this point, her current disguise, Veil in disguise, because for these sections she is Veil, because Veil is the sneaky one.
Yeah, so she's a lot of Veil in this section.
A lot of Veil.
I do like that even though Veil does front for a lot of this section, you do get you get a lot of Shallan, and we get way more Radiant than we ever got in Oathbringer. There's more Radiant in part 1 of Rhythm of War than there's in all of Oathbringer, and I really like it, Radiant. I've come to be a big fan. So essentially, the Sons of Honor are now being led by Ialai. So Shallan is trying to get to Ialai. So in this disguise, she's finally taken by the Sons of Honor to be initiated into them. Yeah. But upon her being kidnapped, which was part of the plan, Adolin, who's been watching from a distance to make sure it doesn't go wrong, gets worried that it's gone wrong and she's been discovered. So he then tries to kill the Sons of Honor. Yeah. Shallan manages to convince one of them to take her to Ialai, so they escape through like Ialai. Ialai's someone else.
I know, I'm sorry.
Ialai's the ghost blood.
Yeah. She manages to convince one of them to take her to Ialai. So whilst most of the Sons of Honor are currently fighting Adolin, she gets taken through like a sneaky passage like built into the rocks of the shattered plane. Because at the moment they're like she's been taken into a chasm. Yeah. And they go through into like a safe house.
No, I'm pretty sure it's revealed that it's just the Sadius Palace. And I'm like, you guys were looking for Ialai, and they just didn't.
No, it's not. It's not the palace. It's like a safe house bunker, like under the palace.
I think it's under the palace. But I'm sure it's like it's like under the palace. But it's like I'm like, did you guys not think to check like the palace?
See, I assumed it was like one of the bunk houses at the edges of his war camp. I didn't think it was actually the palace.
I'm certain they say it's actually in the palace, and I'm like, because I remember thinking that's kind of dumb.
It's a safe house.
It's a safe house.
Somewhere in the Sadius war camp. But she is taken to Ialai. Yeah. Who immediately seems to know who she is and why she's there. Yeah. So she starts, like, playing games with the wine. And she's describing the wine as, like...
I need to go back and, like, read into the wines. Because Brandon was clearly having a lot of fun in that section.
Oh, it's a fantastic section.
Yeah.
Really solidly good. Like, the way that she's describing them as like, it seems like she's describing them as like each of Shallan's personalities.
I'm sitting there,
it's really cool.
and I'm like, is she talking about like Dalinar and Shallan and like and like Yasna and the Stadius household and the Colins and Navani? Like, is she talking about? I'm like, this is a metaphor for something.
There's a lot to unpack.
There's a lot to unpack there.
But the final wine she drinks is a blue wine.
Of course it is.
But it's the only wine where she hasn't offered a glass to Shallan.
Yeah.
She downs it.
Oh, yes. You think...
Sorry. No,
yes.
It's not blue.
Is it not?
No, it is Shin wine. So it's like actual world wine.
It's like actual earthy, like earth
it's
wine.
like a purpley wine.
Yeah.
But anyway, she downs the whole thing, doesn't offer any to Shallan. And then Adolin comes in to take her prisoner.
Yeah.
So she's being taken out as a prisoner, and she leaves Shallan a cryptic message about finding something before the Ghostbloods do.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah.
So she's getting taken out by a couple of like the people. Shallan starts searching the room. So she starts searching the room, and then she hears like shouting from the next room. So she goes in to find Ialai dead.
Yeah.
She seems to have been poisoned.
Yeah.
So she's been poisoned. It's assumed by the Ghostbloods because Vale has decided. Well, Shallan and Vale and Radiant have decided not to kill her.
Yeah.
Adolin doesn't want her dead, so it's assumed that somehow the Ghostbloods have got to her because she was convinced that they were coming to kill her. We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
But Shallan goes back to search for this thing. She finds a hidden book.
Yeah.
So she takes it, and they head back to the...
Earthere.
Yeah. To essentially fill everyone in on what's happened and why it happened.
So you have a theory that you think the last drink that Ialai drank was poisoned, right?
Yeah. I think that she poisoned herself knowing that she was either going to be murdered by someone or she was going to be like put on trial.
Yeah.
So I think she killed herself to stop that from happening.
Okay.
I don't know whether she did it on purpose or not, but it's the fact that she didn't offer Shallan
any of that last. It makes sense. Yeah. See, I have another theory because they theorize that potentially she was pricked with a needle, right?
Yeah.
And leading up to the Ialai, they're considering whether to kill her or not, and they kind of have a discussion on it and they vote on it. The 3 capitalized T, which I don't like. And something that really bothered me was when Shallan goes to lead Ialai out of the room.
Yeah.
It's Shallan's fronting at that moment.
Yeah.
But as she takes her by the arm, the line is Radiant took her by the arm. Yeah. And then it immediately goes back to Shallan. And I'm like...
What did Radiant do?
I'm like, why did Radiant take her by the arm if Shallan was the one fronting her? I'm like, it might be nothing.
That's quite interesting. One thing that I also haven't mentioned in talking about Shallan is although she is now content within herself and she's got the 3 personalities, there is a 4th that's not formed. It's like a shadow inside of her. I personally think that that's like her repressed childhood.
Okay.
I think that 4th is going to come out at some point as a child.
Ooh, that'd be really interesting.
And I think that's going to be like some things from Shallan's past that she's not spoken about yet.
Oh, man.
And like...
I hadn't considered that. I have my own theory about Formless.
Ooh.
You carry on going. You keep going.
Yeah. I think that it's going to be like... Because Patton keeps... And like the others keep telling her that she has to admit a truth to herself.
Yes.
In order to progress. I think that whatever shadow is... Formless. Whatever Formless is, it's that.
Yes.
And the only thing that I can think of that we've not really touched upon yet is whatever was happening in Shallan's childhood.
Yes, when she first bonded Patton, like...
Yeah, because something happened before she killed her mum.
Yeah.
Because her mum brought the Ghostbloods in for a reason.
Yeah.
So I think that whatever Formless is that.
Okay, I thought in my head it was that I kind of hadn't clicked the the veil saying you have more secrets and the formless. I kind of hadn't combined them together.
That's fine.
In my head, what it was is she's like, hey, you've still got secrets, but then formless kind of represents not just like a fourth personality, but represents a load. Like when she makes in the Battle of Thalen Field and she makes the army, there's like loads, every version of herself that she's ever drawn.
Yeah.
That's kind of, I see formless as that mass of all the different possibilities Shallan could be. And like when she's, if she's panicking or like something's going on, like formless is just like, hey, make another personality. Make me into something. Like make one of those Shallans real so that I can help out as well.
Interesting.
And give it, because like she's good as the 3 as she is now.
Yeah.
But like there's clearly fractures in this little system they've got going on. And so yes, that's how I interpret forms. Cool. But it being child Shallan is actually way more interesting, and I kind of hope it's that now.
Yeah, I don't know. I've got to read more.
Yeah, same. We then get other planets name dropped. We get Nilal and Skaradrial, and we get Nalalathis and Taldain, and I'm like, yes, Brandon, more Cosmere.
Wider Cosmere, please.
Please, more Cosmere. So yeah, apparently the Sons of Honor knew more than we thought. I think.
Well, in one of his live streams, he dropped the fact that we're going to get shard names in this book.
Oh, do you reckon that's going to be in that little book?
I don't know, but I'm excited. Like, I've literally been sat here, like, trying to work out what the shards are going to be.
Yes.
Like, I'm still convinced of Fortune.
I know you're still convinced of Fortune.
I know that you won't give me Fortune, but I'm still convinced Fortune.
I mean, you're excited for Fortune to be confirmed. I'm really worried Ingenuity will be confirmed because I don't want Ingenuity to be confirmed.
Yeah, but like,
I don't like the name Ingenuity. I've got nothing problem with the actual idea of the shard. I just don't like the name.
But like, because like that's the thing is that I'm assuming that the other shards are like emotions because that's what we've come across so far. So
yes, that emotion of preservation.
But like
ambition, cultivation, honor.
So like
devotion,
I'm looking for like
devotion,
lust and things like that.
Oh my god, could you imagine a shard of lust? Jesus.
I can definitely imagine a lust planet.
Right. What happens next?
It is the flight from Hearthstone to the Shadow Plains.
Yes, we get Navani's.
Go for it.
Get Navani's little pod. Yeah, I really liked the diagram of Fourth Bridge. It was exactly what I was imagining. Just a big old brick with like a shelter on one side. And yeah, you got Navani's little pod, which has got like a little desk. I like that. I'm liking all the Navani we're getting. Like, we got a bit of Navani in other books, but I feel like, did we get any Dalinar point of views in this part 1?
No.
And it's all from Navani's perspective, and I quite like that, especially after the prologue kind of talked about how Navani always felt that the Gavilar was the star of the show.
Yeah.
And like, he was just kind of an abusive asshole towards her.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of like, I kind of like that we're getting Navani points of views, and we're seeing all of Dalinar through Navani's eyes, and so we can see how they're like, how Gavilar and Dalinar are the same, but also very different.
Yeah.
And yes, then we get her little pen pal. She finds that ruby on her desk, or like glued to the bottom of her desk, and then they land, and she stays in her pod for a little bit, and it writes telling her to stop imprisoning Spren, and like telling her that she's like a war criminal and she's the worst person ever. And I'm like, I've seen theories. Some people think it's like the sibling. Some people think it's like Shianat. Some people think it's something else. And I'm just like, I just have no idea.
I like the idea of it being the sibling.
Yeah.
So far,
yeah,
this is like my really, really, really out there.
I'm down for your really, really out there theories.
Cool. So far, in the last few books, we've only had one character that has been horrified upon finding out that the Fabrials are made by imprisoning Spren.
Yeah.
Shallan.
Was it Shallan?
Yeah, Shallan, when Yasna tells her about how Fabrials are made, she was quite horrified.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I wonder whether, like, potentially it's, like, Shallan subconsciously doing it.
Yeah.
Like, as in, like, maybe it's, like, formless writing on Shallan's
Oh my
behalf.
god, what if it's formless?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my, like, really...
That is pretty out there. Yeah.
Or potentially maybe, like, one of the fused.
Yes.
Because obviously they are the only other people that we've encountered that don't like having to trap Spren.
Yeah.
Because obviously when they first use Spren in the first book to change forms, it's by trapping them in gems.
Yeah, when they're doing the storm form, they're kind of like...
and Esh and I talks about how they don't like doing it, but that's the only way that they can at the moment.
Okay, cool. I forgot about that little interesting. It could be a...
Potential?
Could be a fused or, like, even a regal or just...
But, like, I much prefer, like, some part of Shallan doing it.
Yes.
Because I think that is just so, like, insane.
I
like it.
That is a pretty crazy theory. I like
Thank
it.
you.
So then they arrive back at the Shadow Plains, and then Dalinar and Kaladin have a little chat. I know, and
I don't like this.
You don't like this,
No.
and it is a very rough chat because it is Kaladin basically has been having.
He's been freezing up.
He's been freezing up more. He's been having more Kaladin moments, and I think people have everyone's like checking up on him all the time.
Yeah.
And he gets really annoyed because everyone keeps coming up to being like, "Oh, are you okay?
Yeah.
So, do you need anything?" And Kaladin's like, "I'm their High Marshal. I am Kaladin Stormblessed.
Yeah.
People shouldn't be checking up on me. I should be checking up on other people."
Yeah.
And so Dalinar's kind of like, "Mate, I've seen enough soldiers and enough war to know it's time for you to step back." And I'm like, Kaladin? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think this is the best for Kaladin, but also it's just very hard to see like him having to try and accept that he has a weakness and that he needs to work on it and stop ignoring it, kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm hoping that like once he says the fourth ideal, it won't fix him.
Yeah.
But it will help him to cope better in these battles.
I think like the very main leading theory on the fourth ideal is that it is I accept that I can't save everyone.
Yeah.
Something to that.
Yeah. I'm hoping that will ease him a bit and it will get him back. Yeah. Like, ultimately, I'm just wanting him to kill Moash. Like, I'm hoping that is where his arc is going to lead him.
Yeah.
To accepting that Moash is a terrible person that shouldn't be alive and just killing Moash.
Yeah.
That's what I need.
Oh, because in order to, like, kind of saying the fourth oath won't fix him, but in order to say the fourth oath, he kind of needs to accept it. He needs to accept what he's currently struggling very hard with.
I love Kaladin.
I know.
I don't want him to get better because I don't think that you can just snap your fingers and get better.
Yes.
But I would like to see him kind of having an up moment.
Yeah.
Because obviously there's up days and there's down days. It'd be nice if he just has a few up days.
Just want a couple of up days, Kaladin.
Yeah, I just want something good to happen for him.
Yeah.
Because right now,
nothing
good is happening to him.
Yeah.
Because after this talk, he goes back to his room and he just breaks down.
Oh God, yes.
He just sits in front of his door, like, just crying.
He doesn't even take one step. He literally closes his door and just sinks. And it's like, it's so hard. I'm like, yeah. And
it was hard not to cry at that moment.
Yeah.
And Syl has like gone off and he doesn't know where she is. He's by himself.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden there's like a pounding at his door.
Yeah.
And he just
Adolin's
doesn't
knocking.
It's two hands, so he knows it's a guy. That he just doesn't want to interact with anyone. Like, he just wants to continue spiraling.
Yeah.
But like, it's quite clear that whoever's on the other side of the door will not be leaving anytime soon.
Yeah.
So then he opens the door to Adolin, and Adolin's like, right, change your clothes, we're going to the pub.
Yeah. He's like, pub?
And Kaladin's like, no, I just want to be alone. He's like, no, you can't be alone right now.
Yeah.
You don't have to talk to me. You don't have to interact with me, but you have to physically be sat with
Oh,
me
man.
at the pub.
Doesn't Adolin say he's like, look me in the eye and tell me that it's a good idea for me to be alone right now?
And Kaladin
And he can't do it. And I'm like,
oh, it's such
a good best bud.
I
He's such a
love
good best bud.
Kaladin and Adolin.
Yeah.
They are such a good friend combo.
Yeah.
I'm glad that somebody has a good friend.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm glad someone has friends.
So yeah, Kaladin quickly changes his clothes. He follows Adolin to, like, Adolin's favourite wine bar.
Yeah.
It's like, it's in a part of town where it's not exclusive to, like, Light Eyes.
Yeah.
It's just a normal pub, but it's like a nice pub.
It's like the
a family-friendly pub.
Family-friendly. It's like a Spoons.
Yeah.
Or like no, only UK people are going to get that.
Yeah. But essentially, like, it's quite a reputable place.
Yeah.
And they're sitting, having a drink. Vale is with them being Vale. And Adolin's like, wow. And Kaladin's like, wow, you've got a weird relationship.
Oh, yeah, because he starts commenting on the ladies.
Yeah.
Good old Shallan. How you doing, Vale? I'm a big fan. I like this lady.
Vale likes the same things that we do.
Oh, yeah.
So him and Kaladin are sitting, and Kaladin tells Adolin about how he's essentially been demoted, but he can decide what path to take.
How that works, yeah. Because I don't think he doesn't lose his rank. Or does he lose his rank?
He loses his rank, but it's...
Yeah.
But it's in a sort of retirement way.
Yeah, because I think Dallin just kind of gives him the option, being like, yeah, you could stay here and like just train people, keep your rank, keep your role, just stay in the tower, and then kind
of... He can't keep his role.
I mean, like, as in
very much
being a high marshal still, but just not going out to the field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or he can become a diplomat and be their envoy to, like, visit other nations, but he's like, mate, I can't do that.
Yeah, that's not Kaladin.
Yeah, or he can train some of the other orders.
Yeah.
But obviously Kaladin doesn't want to just watch his people going off to battle because that's too hard. So he currently doesn't know what he wants to become yet.
I was gonna say, like, him training people and then sending them off to battle, and that's literally his worst nightmare.
Yeah,
is everyone dying except for him. It's literally like you couldn't suggest a worse option for him.
Yeah, so he doesn't want that for himself. And then Adolin and Vale disappear for a minute, and Rock comes to join in. Because at the same time in this pub, like, one of the people that works there is having their, like, wedding ceremony. Yeah. So Adolin and Shallan go off to, like, congratulate them. And Rock goes to sit with Kaladin. And Rock essentially tells Kaladin that he's got to go back to...
He's got to face judgment for killing Amaram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In...
the Horny-to Peaks.
Horny-to Peaks. So he's going.
Yeah.
His daughter's gonna stay because his daughter and his oldest son are gonna stay because they've both become, like, soldiers in the, like, his daughter has got shard plates. Yeah. And they're enjoying their time, so he's gonna let them stay and do their thing. Yeah. But he's going back to the Horny-to Peaks because he's got to face trial. And
I'm like, I really hope that breaking your child role, I guess. I don't know what else you'd call it, like your birth order role. I really hope the punishment's not too bad.
Don't but we all, like, but it does sound quite final.
It does, doesn't it? And Rock doesn't make it sound like there's much option for him coming back, which
I do, however, hope that he's going to run into Azura there.
Yes, you want him to run into Azura.
Because obviously that's where she was heading when we last saw her.
Yeah, she was trying to go through the perpendicularity,
Yeah, so it'd be quite cool if, like, there's some sort of, like, either later on in the book there's a fight where they're both involved fighting together, or, like, whether we're going to get, like, an interlude or a spin-off or something, because that'd be pretty cool.
I think the novella between 3 and 4 was a toss-up between a Rock novella and a Risen novella. I think he's gone for the Risen novella, so I wonder if between 4 and 5 maybe we'll get the Rock novella. Maybe.
I don't know. It would be cool.
Yeah. But this for me is really, like, this hit twice. Firstly, because it's Rock leaving, and that's horrible. And secondly, this is the problem Kaladin has is like he's always the survivor. Everyone dies, everyone goes away, and he's the only one left. And it's happening again.
Yeah.
But instead of everyone dying, it's because everyone's leaving. Everyone's getting on with their lives.
Yeah.
And he's not. He is stuck. And so he's still there. Everyone's gone. But like he can't even like be happy for them because he's had that cloud in his head is pushing down on him. And I'm like, and so that's why it hits it's hard. Yeah, it's hard. This is a very emotional part. I really like this part.
Yeah. I don't.
You don't like this part.
Can we move on to the next
Let's
section,
move on to
please?
Let's move on to the next section. By the way, we kind of realized in our notes we haven't written anything about Venli, so we're going to finish our notes and we're going to loop back around because somehow we completely forgot about what.
And we've also forgotten whereabouts her stuff slots in. We're just going to do her separate.
Yeah, her stuff might be the most interesting part of this part, so I'm like, I don't know how we forgot about it. We're terrible. Also, we haven't talked about the epigraphs, which we're going to talk about now, actually, because next is all the scenes of Navani talking about like Fabrials and getting to know some Fabrial stuff, which is really interesting to see kind of what they're doing. Yeah. She sent some people off to finally go investigate Gavilar's Black Sphere, which is like bloody hell. 4 books later, we finally getting someone actually looking into that. We then get what else do we get? We also get the kind of the glove, which can be like pull you along wherever you point it. Which has interesting applications because like you could use it to like fly or like punch someone really damn hard. And
pewter glove.
Like a pewter glove, yeah. Like you activate it and then like someone somewhere else like throws a rock off a cliff and you just punch really hard with it. This whole isolating planes of movement thing is fascinating and will revolutionize Roshar. This is absolutely like one of the biggest things that they've discovered, and yes, like I said, I'm super excited to see where airships goes. Have I done my airship rant on video yet? I can't remember if I've ever done my airship rant on video. I don't really think my rant is basically I'm a big fan of the Studio Ghibli movies. Okay, and Studio Ghibli's movies have a lot of airships in them. I think other than like the historical plane one, every Studio Ghibli movie has airships in them, I think. Oh, and like My Neighbor Totoro, and I think Spirited Away still has them. Anyway, a lot of their movies have big airships on them, right? With like big cannons and like cool stuff, and they're flying, but they never fight. In no Studio Ghibli movie do you ever have an airship battle. Because they're Studio Ghibli movies, they're like wholesome family tales. And so I am, except for that one that's not a wholesome family movie.
It's about the Grave of the Fireflies, mate.
Except for that one movie that's not a wholesome family movie. They're all wholesome family movies, and they don't have airship battles in them. And so I'm excited for airship battles, because I want airship battles, because I really like airships with big guns on them.
Yeah, but in order to get airship battles, we need the Fuse to come up with airships.
That's fine. If that's the sacrifice that needs to be made, that is one that I'm willing to make.
Cool.
So yes, I'm excited for where Fabrials are going, and I want airship battles. Anyway, speaking of Fabrials, the annotations, the epigraphs, in this part is all about Fabrials, and it's all about metals, and it's all about the cages and the spren, and there's loads of super interesting stuff. But the link between allomantic metals and what metals do in allomancy, and what they do in Fabrials there is definitely some link there, but it's like pewter, I think, has it manifest more strongly or something like that, and then obviously like pewter makes you stronger. It's like the strength metal, and so there's some interesting parallels there.
Yeah,
I'm definitely gonna like put them all together and read them all again, and then be like, cool, how do
really
dissect
this? I'm sure that's a shardcast waiting to happen.
Oh god, yeah, there's at least, I reckon we could have a whole shardcast on each individual epigraph.
Yeah, you probably will. You probably will.
Cool.
It's got to sustain you for like 3 years.
Oh god, mate, but Oathbringer sustained us for 3 years. Like, I think Rhythm of War we'll be fine.
Yeah, you will. There's a lot here.
Yeah, in this part one alone, Anyway.
We get a scene. I'm not quite sure where this is timeline-wise.
It's like I think middle of the
but
Navani
it
chapters.
Doesn't change anything, so I'm just going to throw it in here.
Yeah.
There is a lovely scene where Navani is in her favourite place on the tower, which is like the sky plains.
It's like it's like the second highest tier near the top on the balcony. Yeah.
It's like this big open space at the top where like you can see out into the clouds, and it's like this beautiful, like serene place. So she goes there to meet up with Gavinor on a regular basis, and she stands around talking to him, and he's 4 or 5?
Yeah.
And he's like, this is what I did, and I'm really excited about things, and she's just loving being able to, like, be a grandma.
Yeah.
And he's like, can I learn to fight with the sword? Can you talk to Uncle Dalinar and get him to teach me how to use a sword? And she's like, another one.
Oh, yes, I forget I still live in Alethka.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess not, but okay, I still live in an Alethic society.
Yeah. And it's really cute.
It's very cute.
It reminded me of when we first met Adolin in Dalinar's flashbacks.
Yes.
And he stood on the rock with his little sword fighting the Kremlins.
Yes, yeah.
It's really cute.
I think that was actually almost specifically one of the things you said you wanted at the end of Oathbringer, is you just wanted at least one scene of, like, calling family members just being nice to each other.
Oh, no. I wanted, like, a couple of scenes of, like, Navani being a grandparent.
Yeah.
What I specifically would like...
Yeah.
are scenes where she is like a parent to Yasna, or like at least has like time with Yasna.
Yeah,
you know, maybe they go for like tea and they're like talking about life,
about something. We just want anything with Yasna and Yasna and Navani just being family,
which we kind of get in the next scene.
We do
in a meeting between the Colin higher up members of the family.
Yeah.
So Navani then heads to where she's meeting with Dalinar, Yasna, Adolin, Shallan, and the Mink.
Yes.
They're essentially like talking war strategy before they go and speak to the coalition.
Yeah.
And they wanted to get the Mink's thoughts on things. So she arrives, everyone else arrives. Dalinar and Shallan appear to clash slightly.
Yeah.
He doesn't like how free his son has become since becoming married. And he blames Shallan.
Yep.
And there's tension between the two of them.
Yes.
But they make their big holographic map. The Mink is amazed by it, obviously.
they summon it, and then they just hear like shuffling, and then they look over, and the Mink's like halfway out the door, being like, "Oh, I didn't know what was happening, so I just decided to go for it."
Yeah. But he comes back to check it out.
Yeah.
And they are talking about sort of their next steps in this war.
Yeah.
He notices that they've got a large amount of troops lined up along the
Vaden, the Yakaved and Alethkar border.
Yeah. And he's like, you don't quite trust Taravangian, do you?
Yeah.
And they're like, no.
They're like, no, we don't trust him at all.
He is clearly working against us, but we can't kick him out of the coalition because...
It's a weird relationship.
Yeah. Essentially, he's in the coalition because they can't kick him out at the moment because they're trying to bring others in and they don't want to scare them off.
Yeah.
Because Taravangi still has quite a good influence over people.
Yeah. Well, he's king of Yakaved, you know. That's massive. You know?
Yeah. So they can't kick him out, but they don't trust him, so he doesn't get to attend any of their meetings.
Yeah.
Or if he is at a meeting, they sort of don't talk strategy purposefully.
Yeah.
Because they don't want him to feed back to the fuse.
They kind of hedge their bets on him.
Yeah, they're pretty sure that he's working against them. And then the Mink points out that the next move, it wouldn't be smart to try and take back Alethkar because there's other places that they would be better off fortifying
Yes.
first.
I was going to say, because they've been going for Lethkar, but Lethkar's one of the biggest countries in the world,
Yeah.
and is also probably the most fortified.
It's the stronghold for the fused at the moment.
Yeah.
Like, it would be a suicide mission to try and even retake a small part of it. They would lose so many troops.
Yeah.
So they're better off getting the rest of Roshar.
Yeah.
And then
cutting around to it eventually.
Yeah. So he suggests taking back...
I want to say Emu?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's sort of in the Azir.
It's near Azir.
The country behind it is the one run by the Mad Herald.
Tukar and the Herald Ishar.
Yeah, so they know that potentially any fuse that they're fighting there would also have to fight behind them.
Yeah.
And they can't get reinforcements. Like, it's essentially a bottleneck that works in their favour.
Yeah.
So they decide that that's the best strategy. The Mink leaves along with Adolin.
Yeah.
And Shallan.
Yeah.
With Yasna is wit. I did not mention this. I'm really sorry. I don't know how I forgot this. There's some rumours that something's going on between them in a romantic way.
Oh my god! Those are interesting rumours. I
think that they just have a lot of like private meetings in Yasna's quarters, because Yasna is quite big on privacy. Yeah. She knows her quarters can't be listened into by people. Yeah. So I think that's where her and Wit talk strategy. Yeah. But of course, single female, single male, alone in a room together. Yes. I think rumours have spread because of that.
That makes a lot of sense. I mean, I'm sure people have been shipping them. Like, I mean, we do this all the time. The moment any male and female character get in the same room, we're like,
yeah.
And so I could see that being the thing. I think I'd be okay with it though. We'll see.
We're gonna have to see how. It's gonna be an interesting
dynamic.
Wasna.
Wasna? Don't you mean Yasnoid? Witzner.
Yes.
Yit.
I like Yit.
I think we got Wasner.
The problem is he's got so many names. We're not even touching on like his other names.
So Yasnadrius. Safandrius, but with Yasna in the middle.
But this is what I mean. Like, he's got too many names to come up with a.
Also got Topaz, we've got Dust.
Yeah, if someone can
Dustner.
If someone can give us a good ship name, that would be great.
That's what I want. I want all of Yasna. Well, I can't even remember what any of them called anymore. Yes, just get all of the names, and we'll write them all down, and we'll pick the best one.
Yeah, yeah. I would like your ship names in the comment below, because I need a good ship for this.
Yes.
But at the moment, I'm going with Yit.
Yit. Spelled with a J. Obviously.
So, Yit is talking with
Navani and Dana?
Yeah, what's their ship?
Oh, Navani and Dana?
Yeah.
Delani?
Okay, so Delani.
Or Nalana. I like Devani? I like Devani. I'm going to go with Devani.
Okay. So Devani and Yit are talking privately. And then Wit lovingly leaves Yasna to go and retrieve the Heralds because she wants to. She's been interrogating them for the last year. Yeah. And she wanted them to come and talk about their last meeting. Yeah. So he goes to get them. Yeah. They have some awkward family time in the meantime.
Yes, and you kind of start to realise that maybe the Navani Yasna scene you want probably won't happen.
Yeah, they don't seem to get on very well.
They just seem to have a very awkward relationship, which is understandable considering how Yasna was basically in exile.
Well, I was going to say, like, whatever happened to her as a child that led to her being locked up.
Yes, there's probably put a lot of stress on that relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I need a Yasna book soon, please.
I'm
I
pretty
cannot
sure,
wait until book 10.
I was I'm pretty sure Yasna is locked in at book 10.
I can't wait till
I
book
know.
10. I need this.
You might not have known this, but Dalinar and Zeth's books got switched. Zeth's books was originally going to be 3, and Dalinar was originally going to be 5.
Oh, okay.
Which you kind of think about how different those books would have been if that had happened. So
that would have been insane.
it would have been insane. But I think at the moment Yasna is pretty locked in as book 10, but obviously that could change.
I hope so.
Yeah.
So then Wick comes back with the Heralds.
Yeah.
And they are
useless.
Yeah.
Okay, let's give it fair. But Ash basically turns to them. They ask a question. Ash is like, I don't know anything. You need to ask Isha. And then Yas is like, and here's that's the only thing they're good for, is for saying, talk to Isha.
Yeah. Essentially, they don't give any good information because they're trying to find out more about the bondsmith and how that works.
More about Iridium. And Ash is so hostile.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I get it, but like, I'm shocked at how. Come on, Ash. Help out a bit. Like,
yeah, like they know that they've got to try and fight the fused, and they are not helping at all.
But yeah, like
Tarn is too far gone.
Oh yeah, Tarn's just irrelevant, like basically. But like Ash is, I understand because this was essentially something that she left behind 4,500 years ago.
Yeah.
She left this all behind.
Yeah.
And so I understand that she doesn't want to get back into it.
But
like,
you've got no choice.
But she's so very hostile towards them, and I'm like, I do hope we get more of them in this book, but I have a feeling we might not. But yeah, their conversation is basically go find Isha, which, you know, kind of supports what the Nink was saying about taking Emil, because then that means their front lines will meet, and Dalinar will be able to go talk to Isha. So it's like, well,
I don't think Isha's in the mood to
talk. Yeah, I forgot about his message in OB. Yeah, he was boy, that is going to be an interesting interaction. I actually always thought that when we were going into Oathbringer, I thought that Dalinar versus Isha was going to be like a big component of that book.
Yeah.
And then when it wasn't, I'm like, okay, cool. Maybe we will still get that. Maybe. We'll see. So this is then followed on by some scenes where Kaladin's kind of thinking about what to do next, and he's trying to decide like where to go. And I think he talks to Zahel, Vasha, because he kind of, and I think he's asking if he's asking about whether he should join the Ardents, because he's just thrown out anything to the wall now. He has no idea what to do. And
he just knows that he doesn't want to train
train Radiance. Yeah. And so he goes to Vasha, and he's like, Vasha, what up? You used to be a soldier, right? And him and Vasha have a nice little chat where they talk about like the nature of who you are and all that kind of thing. And we get a little bit of an info dump from Vasha in terms of...
Excuse me.
What?
Excuse me.
What?
We get a lovely talk between them.
Yeah.
But first...
Yes.
Kaladin says to Zahel...
Yeah.
I think I want to be like you. I want to be a swordsmith person. Just teach normal soldiers how to fight with swords and spears.
Yeah.
And Zahel's like, you think you're good enough, do you?
Yeah.
And he's like, yes. So then he's like, fight me. If you can get one hit on me, I will recommend you to the become one. So then they fight.
Oh yeah, and then Vasha just doesn't even hide the fact he's awakening.
Mm-hmm.
He just awakens like there's no one's business.
Yeah. So Zahel is on laundry duty this day.
Yes.
So they are surrounded by bits of like sheets that are drying.
Yeah.
So he awakens them.
Yeah.
Like, he's using them to fight. He's using them to, like, hold Kaladin back.
He's, like, misdirecting me. There's one bit where he just, like, makes a face appear as if someone's coming through. And so he, like, stabs it and there's no one there. And I'm like, what are you even doing? Like, Vasha, you're supposed to be, like, laying low. This is not laying low.
And
then we get a nice little info dump about like invested beings and like a bit of, there was some cool investiture stuff in there about like intent.
I wasn't expecting this much mechanics so early on in the book.
We've
had the massive Fabrial dump And now we're getting the massive investiture dump.
Even I felt like this one was a bit much. Like this kind of reminds me about the info dump we got in chapter 36 or whatever it was in Oathbringer, where the Stormfather just info dumped stuff about the Desolations at us. And it is just an info dump. And it kind of feels like that, except for this isn't... Instead of info dumping stuff relevant to the Stormlight archives, he's just dumping Cosmere mechanics. And whilst I love me some Cosmere mechanics, I'm like, this might have been a bit much, Brandon. I'm like, cool it. Make it a bit more diegetic. Like, don't just be like, hi, can you explain things to me? Yes, here is how
the world works.
How the world works.
Or how the Cosmere works.
Yeah. And so I was kind of like, okay.
By the way, there's like 20 planets out there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm from one of the other ones.
God, how Cosmere aware was this part? This part 1 was pretty Cosmere aware.
Yeah.
How much is going to be in the rest of the book? Jesus.
No. I think this is what we get for the entire book.
You reckon it's going to...
I think it's just been thrown into part 1 to like fill part 1 slightly.
Yeah.
And also fill us in on every bit of information we need to know for the rest of the book.
Yeah.
I think this is all the Cosmere we're going to get.
Okay, interesting.
I worry, though.
Yeah. But I like the scene. There's some interesting stuff in there. I'm excited for the Coppermind authors who are going to be able to be reading this section over and over again to update the
everything
articles. Yeah, so that's going to be fun for them. But yeah.
Yeah.
Good old Vasha time. Looks like Azure hasn't made it to Uthru just yet. Also, we've got Nightblood and Vasha in the tower, and apparently we've not had anything. Like, maybe we've missed it, and maybe it's going to come up later. But man, they've been in the tower for like a year now.
Oh, do you know what we have missed?
What?
So Navani go... Because I was really annoyed. Because I was like, I've not had any Zeth. I've not had any... Lift.
Yeah.
I was like, where are they?
That's a little bit.
And then we get some Zeth.
Yes.
Zeth is a prisoner.
Yes.
They can't kill him because he's the only Skybreaker they have. And also his sword terrifies them.
Yes.
So they still need information from him. So they haven't killed him yet.
Yeah.
They also don't know what to do.
I think he's asked to be locked up. I'm pretty sure he's there, like he asked to be put into prison.
No.
Yeah.
They decided.
Yeah.
He was willing to because obviously they're trying to work out what to do with him.
Yeah.
So he's in jail. He's been jailed in
Uthru.
Yeah, and because they couldn't trust his blade to be away from him. Yeah. They figured that the safest place for Nightblood would be to stay with Zeth. Yeah. So he's got Nightblood, but because he agrees that he should be locked... Well, Dalinar has told him that he wants him to be locked up. And so
Since
because
he's sworn himself to Dalinar.
Yeah. So because of that, he's not going to try and escape because he has no need to, because it's where he's been told to be. Yeah. So Navani visits him quite regularly because she's still trying to piece together what happened to Gavilar. So she goes to interrogate him some more. Yeah. They've had to have very stern words with him to tell Nightblood to stop talking to people.
Yes, because he kept talking to guards as they walked by.
And it was scaring everyone.
Yeah. Did you really there's a detail in this scene that I really liked. Yeah. It was Navani feels repulsion, like a violent repulsion at being around Zeth. Yeah. But it's not Zeth, is it?
It's Nightblood.
It's Nightblood because good people feel an intense nausea at being around Nightblood. Because that's what...
that's the point of Nightblood.
Well, Vivenna describes that as happening. Bad people get all excited about him, and good people get all sicky about him. Yeah. So I thought that I love that detail because obviously Navani would be like, yes, the guy I'm around the guy who killed my husband. I obviously would feel revulsion at him.
But it's not.
But it probably is a little. It probably is a little bit. It's probably additional revulsion as opposed to all of it coming from Nightblood.
So then the fourth bridge finally arrives at
Uthru,
and all of the villagers from Half-Blood get taken on a tour.
Half-Blood.
Hearthstone.
Hearthstone.
Get taken on a tour by one of I'm assuming one of the edge dancers or something.
Yeah.
One of the randoms.
Yeah.
Kaladin personally takes his parents on a tour of...
Here.
And he sort of takes them to the section that's been given to... Hearthstone. They've decided not to divide the tower up into princedoms anymore because that was just causing issues.
Yes.
And it was causing people to still see themselves as like...
individual entities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So instead it's sort of like separated into towns and villages.
Yeah.
And so he takes them to the Hearthstone section. He shows them to their room.
Yeah.
And like he's showing them around.
Their rooms are really nice. They got like the nice rooms.
They got the fancy room because obviously Kaladin pulled some strings.
Obviously, he's the High Marshal Stormblessed.
Yeah, and he gets whatever he wants because everyone loves Stormblessed, as they should do.
As they should. As is tradition.
As is tradition. And he shows them the final room, which is a fully decked out surgery.
Oh yeah. And he's like bought all the nice books and all the nice tools.
He's got all of the latest equipment.
Yeah.
And his dad is just not too pleased with it. And Kaladin's like, I tried so hard. And his mum's like, it's not you. It's just with having edge dancers, he needs to find a new purpose because no one needs a surgeon anymore.
Because you can just wave your hand and heal people.
Yeah. And Kaladin's like,
we have like...
No.
We have like 4 edge dancers in the tower at any one time.
Well, we've got like 12 or so. Yeah. But obviously they're constantly out on missions because we need them to heal
like
our soldiers.
Like battlefields, medics.
So we still need surgeons in the tower because edge dancers can't really be used for the minor stuff. They can only be used for like the life-threatening stuff. Yeah. So his dad's like, oh, this is amazing. Yeah, and then Kaladin is like, by the way, I have made my decision and I'm gonna come back to being your assistant. Yeah. And his dad's like, you're finally doing what I've always wanted you to do. Yeah. You're finally the son that I can be proud of. And Kaladin then realizes that this isn't what he wants.
No, it's really not. He's like, it's...
But he can't see. Well, he can't see any other option for himself. Yeah. So now he's going to be a surgery assistant again.
I do think it'll be good for him though. Like it's not a permanent solution, but it's
no. I think it's going to give him some time to reflect. Yeah. And some time to realize that what he truly wants.
Yeah, it's going to give him time to calm down and like
reflect.
Have some introspection. Yeah. Yeah. And hopefully he'll find something which he finds better for him.
Yeah, hopefully.
Something we haven't talked about though is the Syl Kaladin dynamic. I love
right.
I feel like you've got something to say on this.
I love Syl. Yeah. I love the whole like sarcastic talking to his parents. I love everything about this dynamic. Yes. I absolutely died when Syl was like, I've tried everything to cheer him up. And Kaladin's like, what you do does not cheer me up. She's like, I put a rat in his boot. And it's really hard because I had to lure it in there with food. Like, there is nothing I wanted to do more after reading that scene than draw a picture of one of like Kaladin's boots with like a rat sticking out. Hopefully I have done that by the time that we record this. Yeah. I don't know. I've been really busy.
Yes. As I say, I like the Hasina, Syl, and Kaladin stuff. It's like Kaladin sitting there being like, this is just unfair that I essentially have 2 mums making fun of me, which is also hilarious because he kind of has like Lirin and Dalinar being like 2 dads. Yeah. Like both disappointed.
2 dads and 2 mums.
He's like, I got 2 dads disappointed in me and 2 mums disappointed in me. I'm like, this is unfair.
No. They're just equally as sarcastic around him.
Oh my god, yeah. I really came to like Hasina in this part. Like she was always great, but this I feel like her character showed a bit more.
Yeah, I do hope that we are going to get some more of this.
We're going to get more of this. Like, yeah.
Yeah, but I love it. Yeah. It's amazing. It's so good.
Yeah.
Sorry. How did I forget?
How did we forget? Ugh. And then I think one of the last bits of the part
Well, the last bit that we're going to talk about
before Venli stuff is we get a little meeting of the leaders of the coalition, where they kind of meet up and decide what to do.
Yeah.
They're deciding to go to Emil and go and try and fight in Emil and see and like push them against push the Emili forces against Tukar and like hope that works out for them. They talk a bit about how they would need more windrunners because they've reached the maximum amount of honor spren willing to join them, so they can't make any more windrunners, despite the fact of having probably at this point dozens of squires waiting to take on new honor spren. Rlain.
Yeah.
We forgot about Rlain.
Quick.
No. This is our transition to Rlain. So Rlain's in this part. You might have forgotten about him because Rlain is really forgettable because that's part of his character.
I love Rlain. Don't say that. But we forgot about Rlain.
Yes. So they're having a problem with honor spren not having enough honor spren, and part of this as well is they've only got one left over who hasn't bonded anyone, and Kaladin orders him to bond Rlain and goes, Rlain, we found you an honor spren, and Rlain's like, oh, you found me one that wants to, and he goes, yeah, I ordered him to, and Kaladin's like, no, I don't want one which has been ordered, like I want to find my own spren who wants to like bond me, like that's not what I want. Poor Rlain.
It was a horrible moment because like, Kaladin thinks that he's done this really lovely thing. Yeah. And then after talking to Rlain, he's like, oh no.
But like Rlain thinks he's like done a wonderful thing. Yeah. And then he's like, yeah, I ordered him to. And then Rlain's like, no, that's not what I want. It's really hard on the heart.
Because Kaladin finally thinks that he's done something right and someone's happy with him. Yeah. And he's like, yes, I've made someone happy. And then the bombshell is dropped on him that no. Like,
this is like...
You're forcing him to. I don't want someone to be forced to hang out with me. I want them to do it because they want to. And Kaladin's like, oh boy. Yeah. I messed up.
This is such a rough part for Kaladin. Oh my god. Every one of his like...
Nothing good happens to Kaladin. Good happens
to him. Like, I guess no one dies, I guess. Like, nothing good happens in this part for Kaladin. Oh man!
Oh, I love Kaladin.
So anyway, because of the honor spren problem, they're sending a little contingent to Lasting Integrity, the honor spren city,
in Shadesmar.
So we're gonna get a nice little Shadesmar thing. I love how Lift is like, they're like, we need some radiance to go. You know, we'll send like an Edge Dancer and like a Stoneward, and
we'll try and send like a few different orders so they can see that we're working together. So Shallan is like, I'll go. They don't particularly like the cryptics, but they hate ink spren, so we can't send Yasna.
Can't send Yasna. Cultivation spren are like, you know, you got honor spren and cultivation spren. Yeah. Like, cool, let's send an edge dancer. And Dan, I was like, does any edge dancers want to go? And Lefty's like, me, send me. And Dan, I was like,
any edge
dancers want to go?
And it's like, oh, we can't send Lift to be an envoy. Yes, like, Lift is the worst choice.
That would not work for the honest friend.
It's like, hey, tight ass, send me.
So yeah, I am looking forward to
They managed to convince Lift that she wouldn't be the best fit.
Yes.
And that she's very needed in the tower.
Yes, she's really helpful for the tower.
So they decide that they're going to send a couple of edge dancers from the Order. Yeah. Like, lesser ones we've not encountered. Well, we've not really encountered yet. Yeah. Properly. They're going to send Shallan as a cryptic with a few of her other squires. Cryptics.
Yeah. Well, not squires, because they're also Radiants now as well.
Yeah, they're going to send her with a couple... Yeah, she's going to choose a couple of other cryptics to go with. Yeah. So they've got some cultivation, they've got some cryptics. They're going to send... are they going to send any of the honor spren?
No, they decided against sending any of the honor spren because the only one that they've really got to spare is Syl, because the others are needed on the battlefield, and Syl's like, hey, don't send me.
So yeah, they are just going to send a little party into Shadesmar.
Yeah, cool. Right. Now let's talk about Venli, because this is the best. This is like the spiciest chapters. These were.
Yeah.
These were
I
so.
can't believe we missed them.
I can't believe we wrote all these notes and we completely forgot about Venli.
I'll let you lead the Venli stuff because I know
Cool.
how much you love it.
I do really like it. So we open with Venli in one of the towers in Kolinar.
Yeah.
Because the Shanaim like to have big ass towers that get blown over by high storms and then rebuilt because they're like.
No, they don't
building
get
a town.
blown over.
They did for the first couple of times as they were learning to build them.
Yeah.
And then now they've learned how to build them resistance to high storms.
Yeah.
Because obviously they're just always floating and they're above everyone, so they just stay above everyone. We've learned that Leshwi as the voice of Venli as the voice of Leshwi is like her chief of staff, and so he's in charge of like recruiting people. We get some really interesting singer human dynamics. Like she gets is it Adolin's tailor? Because
yes.
It's Adolin's tailor. And so they get like Adolin's tailor and she's like, you wanted someone who can make you nice robes, and so we've got the best tailor out here. And Leshwi's like, you can't expect me to employ a human tailor. Like, do you not understand what is happening here?
We're supposed to be bringing our people up above the humans. We can't put a human above our people.
Yeah.
Use the human to train some of our people.
And then we'll use those people.
Yeah.
Yeah. We get that. Venli's like gathering a little
resistance?
It's not really resistance or rebellion. It's more of just she's doing with the last listener thing. She's doing like the listener thing again.
Yeah.
Where she's trying to get people to leave. Like they don't want to fight the fuse. They just want their own.
They want independence.
Independence, yeah.
As the last listener, she wants to rebuild the listener people.
Yeah.
Because the fused kind of look down on them and just don't see a need for them.
Yeah.
Well, beyond cannon fodder.
Yeah.
So she wants to get a little group together. She's hoping that she can convince the fuse to just let them have a little town somewhere.
Yeah.
Where they can be their own thing separate from the rest of the business.
Yes.
And she can rebuild her people.
Yeah. And I'm like, I like this because it doesn't seem unreasonable. One thing I really liked about the Venli chapters is Venli has assumptions that the fused are going to be unhappy about something. Like Leshwi's going to be unhappy about something, and then Leshwi's not as unhappy about it as she thought because they value passion, so they value people questioning and rebelling, and so it's kind of like I don't actually think this is. I think when this does happen, if it does happen, and I assume it would, you wouldn't. I mean, maybe it'll all go to hell, but
maybe she dies.
Maybe she dies. But
maybe she just joins the Radiance because she's a Radiant.
Or maybe, yeah. Oh, yeah. I really liked her dynamic with
Timber.
Timber, yeah. Timber's cute. And yeah, it just. I don't think it'll be that. Taken that badly when it eventually does happen where she's like, cool, we're gonna leave. I think if she tries to do it without asking first, it will be taken badly, but if she just asked, I feel like it won't go as badly as she thinks it would. But then, I
don't know, because some of those fused are crazy at this point, and they might not accept it.
It could also be Brandon building us up to expect, by saying, oh, the fused are okay with this, and they're okay with this, and they're okay with this. He's building us up to be disappointed that when she does ask, hey, we want to leave, it's like, no, we're not okay with this. Maybe. So we have that chapter, and then we have like the big chapter where we learn so much stuff about fused politics. I was like in shock.
Fused political meeting.
It's a fused political meeting.
We meet their politics.
And so they have their leaders are the 9.
Yeah.
Who are fused, who get encased in stone. And I am assuming what happens here is the 9 is one of each variety of fused, is what I'm assuming, because there's 9 of them. And there's 9 brands of fused, because I assume, there's 9 brands of fused.
Yeah. Kind of like how the 5 used to be.
Like how the 5 used to be, yeah. And so you got the 9 brands of fused. I assume they get born into a body and then they kind of get, I don't know, stuff soul cast around them, or they get and so they have to live eternally in these blocks of stone. Sorry, not eternally, because apparently you can just quit being a part of the 9 if you want to.
No. The 9 are encased in these poles, and that's where they are full time.
Yeah.
However, when they are needed, they can sort of like get themselves out of that body into a different body.
Okay.
And then when they're done with that body, they can come back.
Oh, and they go back into the body that's
Yeah.
entombed. Oh, okay. Interesting.
That's my take from it.
Is that how you saw it? Okay, interesting.
Yeah, because it explains something like that.
Yeah.
That's what I think it explained.
Yeah. So you've got you got the 9 and the meeting starts and they're kind of deciding what to do. Each one of I think there's 90 something fused in there or something.
Yeah.
Each with their voices, so they're saying how it's got really crowded in there because they all have a voice. And they're like planning what to do, and then the pursuer comes in and is all like, "Hey guys, just to let you know, I was killed, so I'm gonna go do my rite of like." I'm going to go do my tradition as is my right. My tradition is he was the first fused killed after they became fused.
Mm-hmm.
Thousands of years ago, he was the first one. And so he claims the right to kill the person who killed him. And then that tradition kept going where he would be killed during desolation, he'd come back, and then he'd find the person who killed him and kill them. And so this tradition allowed him, and he just kept doing this to the point now where they just allow him to do it. No questions asked. They're like, "Yep, we know it's been thousands of years. Yeah, we know we can't tell you not to. You do you, as is your right, because we know there's no point in telling you not to do that because you know we're going to do that."
Yeah. You're just going to do it anyway.
You're just going to do it anyway. So yeah, you can go do it. Fine, that's fine.
However,
yes. Leshwi is... What does Leshwi do?
So Leshwi intervenes.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Can't do that, mate."
Mm.
And it's like, what are you talking about? Of course I can. It's what I do. And she's like, "Actually, I think you'll find that the human that killed you killed me first. And so
yes.
I claim it."
Yes.
And the 9 accept her claim over his.
Yeah.
So Lee's quite furious about this.
Yes. Does Venli ask her Leshwi to do that, or does Leshwi do that on her own?
Leshwi does that because Leshwi likes Kaladin.
Oh yeah. Yes, she does.
And so she claims him first.
Yes, she does.
I look forward to it.
And then when does Moash turn up? Is that the beginning or the end?
So then Moash is just there.
Oh, then also Moash is in this scene, but
who cares?
Yeah. He says some stuff. He's wearing all black now. He wears the Bridgman uniform, like the Colin uniform, but black version. And I'm like, this is just getting silly. Like,
can we just kill him?
Can we just kill him at this point?
Do not give him any sort of redemption arc.
Yeah.
Please
just
kill him.
Be gone.
Even the fused are like, why do we
Why is he here?
Yeah. Like, the fused don't even like him, so why they haven't killed him, I don't know. Could just someone kill him? Yeah. Or can he just die in, like, a stupid way? Can he, like, eat some
just trips and falls down some stairs. Yeah.
Or, like, he eats some, like, meat that's gone bad and it kills him.
He just gets, like, a tapeworm or something, and he just, I don't know.
Or, like, maybe he gets, like, a cold.
Yeah.
And it kills him.
Yeah.
Just
something.
Him.
Just something.
Just please.
Cool. And then we meet who I think is the most interesting character I've met so far is Raboniel.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to say it. It could be Raboniel. I don't like Raboniel, so it's Raboniel.
Okay, cool.
And so she is super interesting. So she walks into the middle of the 9, and even like Leshwi and Venli, like Venli's like, I didn't know you could just walk into the middle of the 9 and like interrupt them.
No one does this.
No one does this. And she used to be one of the 9.
Yeah.
But then got tired of being one of the 9 because...
Oh, no, she was too much for them.
But she was too extreme. So she was like, fine, I'm going to do my own thing. So apparently you can quit being one of the 9. And she tried to develop a disease to kill the humans. But then it also killed loads of singers. So she was like, I tried. But, and they're all kind of like, yeah, no, she's the most dangerous one or something like that. And I'm like, okay, cool. I love her description. She's like not got a lot of carapace, but like it is like a little spiky, but then she's got like a top knot of hair. And I'm like, I don't know. I quite like the top knot. I can't wait to see Raboniel art
Artwork.
because she's got such a great design.
Mhm.
And what else? Oh, and then in order to she's like, I want to take Irithyru.
Yeah.
I want people to help me take Irithyru. And so just think
She wants to take...
Leshwi,
No.
Venli, Ialai,
Ira.
Irithyru.
Yeah. She wants to take it
Yeah.
by turning the tower against...
Yes, because they talk about the Fabrial that the Pursuer lost.
Yeah.
Being like, this is technology based on the tower's ability to suppress us, and we've reversed it so that it suppresses them. And that test worked, so we want to now go to Irithyru and turn those defenses against the Radiants.
Yeah. They want to turn the big gem heart in the middle of the tower into the opposite. So it suppresses Radiance, which would be very bad. That does not sound like it would go well. And the 9 then talk to Odium, is how I interpreted this. They start singing a song, because that's what they do. But the interesting thing to me was that Venli couldn't translate it. Yeah. Despite the fact her ability being translate anything. So it kind of ends with them saying, yes, you could try that. Then they go on to other matters, but then Leshwi leaves. I was going to say the way they're going to do that is she's going to take a undercover team.
Yes.
They're going to disguise themselves as humans.
Yeah.
And they're going to sneak in.
Through the tunnels, aren't they? Or are they going?
I can't remember how they're going to do it, but they're going to get in there stealthily.
Yeah.
Turn the tower against them.
Yes.
And get out. And they're going to use Taravangian to get them in.
Yes.
Because he's working with them.
Because
but they don't want to do it unless Dalinar and Yasna are out. Because Dalinar and Yasna are the only ones that can stop them.
Yes, so they said
they
bondsmith...
haven't quite explained how.
Yeah.
But essentially the bondsmith or the Elsecallers are the only ones that can stop them. Unless there is a Radiant of the Fourth Order.
Yes.
So as they don't think there is a Radiant of the Fourth Order, they need those two gone. So they're going to get Taravangian to get rid of those two. Yeah. Then they're going to sneak in. I think that this is the moment that Kaladin will say his fourth oath. And he will be the one to...
And he'll be the one to be in the tower when it gets converted.
And he'll be the one to stop them.
And then all the Radiants die and he's the only one left.
Or it's going to be something to do with Renarin.
Or it's going to be something to do with Renarin.
One of those two.
Oh, because of the corrupted Spren. Ooh, man, could we get Renarin? I love Renarin in this book. That'd be interesting.
Can we just get more Renarin,
Just
please?
more Renarin. I think... sorry, that reminded me. Yes, the reason that the bondsmith is too close to honor. 1 second. Sorry. And the reason Yasna is also is because they're pretty sure Yasna's beyond the fourth oath. Yeah. Yes, so Yasna's either fourth or fifth. Yeah. Yes.
Nice. Sorry. Yeah. I've just realised that when on the Shadesmar expedition, they're also taking a stump because they needed to take a Truth Watcher.
Yes, and she's a Truth Watcher.
I was trying to remember who else was going.
It's an uncorrupted Truth Watcher as well. Yes. So we're going to see what
uncorrupted Truth Watcher can do.
What an uncorrupted Truth Watcher can do, but we're going to see their Spren because I don't think we know their Spren yet.
I think it looks like Renarin's but different colours.
Yes, I think when
we'll find out.
We're going to find out because we're going to physically go to Shadesmar with them, and they're going to be there, and we're going to be able to see them and touch them, and it's going to be interesting.
So excited!
So oh my god, I'm going to have to get used to saying this name. Raboniel leaves the meeting, and Leshwi goes after her, and Leshwi's like, I am in a great position in my society where I am not too high, that I've got too many responsibilities, and not too low where I can, but I'm high enough where I can demand things of people.
She's a very intelligent fuse, and she
is worried.
Put herself in that position purposefully, so that she can do things a bit sneakier than other fuse.
Yes, and she's worried about what Raboniel's going to get up to. Yeah. So she says, "Hey, do you want my voice? Do you want to take Venli with you, and she can act as your voice? Because
I've got me. I get the best servants.
I get the best servants. You can have my staff.
I will give them to you because I support you. I'm sorry for standing up against you in there. This is my way of apologizing."
Yes, and then she's also kind of like hint, hint, wink, wink. Venli, spy on her for me.
Oh no, she blatantly tells Venli.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, she blatantly's like, yeah, you go with her and you like
Stop her from
going too far.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because she's very worried about what this lady who nearly wiped out all life on Roshar will do.
Yeah.
Which is fair enough. That's a fair enough worry.
It's definitely a fair worry.
Yeah.
And Venli agrees because Venli's also like, I can also kidnap a Radiant and get the Radiant to show me how to use my Spren.
Yes. And it's like, you could do that, Venli, or you could just ask nicely. But no.
Look,
Venli...
Roshar, if people spoke about their problems, you know?
Yeah. What was I going to say?
I don't know.
Venli stuff. I have said so many times that I didn't like Venli in Earthbringer.
Yeah.
And I wanted her to have something different in. And I wanted to like her. I am loving the Venli stuff. And I don't know if it's because of Venli's character, because Venli is still a bit of a... And so even though she's still a bit of a... I am liking her chapters, and I'm liking her. She seems to actually... I don't know how to interpret the whole let's go make our own country, because is that her... that ambitious side of her which caused all of this to happen? Is that ambitious side of her just being like, I want to save people so I can be in charge of them?
I think she sort of realised that she was too extreme.
Yes, I agree.
And she has realised that she caused all of these issues.
Yeah.
I think this is her way of getting redemption for what she's done.
I agree, yeah.
But I really like it.
But yeah, I found her chapters by far the most interesting because we learned so much about the Fused. And I think the Fused might be like my favourite villain archetype that I've like ever seen. Like I really enjoy the whole... that they're slowly coming back, more and more of them. Some of them are insane, some of them are incredibly intelligent, some of them are insanely intelligent to those issues. And like, they've got cool traditions, they've got cool culture, and like, so I've been really enjoying the Venli chapters because of that stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah. And I think that's it. I'm sure we've missed some stuff.
Loads.
Yeah. So comment down below if we like missed some of your favorite stuff and like what it is that you liked. What did you guys really like? Do we have anything else to say?
Well, we haven't.
Oh, predictions. Oh my god. Yeah.
Not so much predictions, because I think we've covered a few things as we've gone along.
Yeah. What do we see happening next?
So I'm excited to see what's going to happen in Shadesmar.
Yeah.
Because obviously something is gonna go down there.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to finally seeing one of these cities. We've seen a little town. We've seen a lighthouse, and we've seen a town. I want to know what a Shadesmar city looks like. Specifically the Honor Spread city. Yes. This might give us clues as to what Silverlight might look like. Do you know about Silverlight?
No, because that's not been mentioned yet.
Oh, okay, cool. No. Silverlight is a Cosmere thing.
Okay.
It's briefly mentioned in I want to say
I don't know.
Okay, no, I'm bound. Silverlight is a city in Shadesmar where Chris comes from, and there is a university there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's all we know. It's like
Cool.
it's like not associated with a planet, so it's not like in a cognitive realm on a planet. It is somewhere in Shadesmar where there isn't a shard and there isn't a planet. It's its own little
weird.
Yeah, weird, right? So yeah,
I was gonna say, it seems like for the rest of the book, there's 3 big events that are going to happen.
Yeah.
There's the Shadesmar team.
Yep.
There's going to be...
an attack on the tower.
Yeah, the attack on the tower team.
Yeah.
Well, whoever is in the tower at the time.
Yep.
And there is also going to be the...
war in Imul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think those are like the 3...
Big things in this.
Yeah.
Cool.
Obviously, there's like minor little like sub things.
There'll be little, but...
obviously, you know, who killed Ialai.
Yes.
What else is Navani going to create?
Oh my god, what is Navani going to do with the fucking... I wonder if we'll see the evolution of the airship this book. I don't know, but we'll see.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously you've also got the Navani, who is she talking to?
Oh yeah, god, yeah.
You've got
Navani's pen pal.
What's happening with Shallan?
Yeah. Like, what is happening with Shallan?
You've got, obviously, Kaladin.
Yeah.
What is he going to do next? Is he just going to be an assistant for the rest of this book?
Yeah.
Or is he actually going to...
I think he's going to find something else.
Have a moment.
And I think that's going to be, like, part of his arc is him finding something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, finding something that he enjoys.
Yes.
I would love just anything nice to happen to him. Maybe he goes and joins the Fused. Well, not the Fused, but like Leshwi's.
Or Venli's group.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it'd be quite nice if maybe like they teamed up and did their own little thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So she's not the last listener. We
Yes.
know that the others are somewhere on the Shattered
Yes,
Plains.
her mother and that group.
We know that she is coming to the tower.
Yes.
We know that Kaladin is stuck in the tower.
Yes.
What if he and Venli go off, find the other listeners, and create her little society?
Ah. Okay, here's my problem with that.
Why?
Is that this group of listeners is already Venli's society, and I don't think they'd be very happy if she came back. Like...
Well, no, because, like, she'd come back and be like, I've seen the error of my ways, let's rebuild.
Yeah.
And they can take Rlain with them!
They can take Rlain with them!
Right,
Yes.
this is what I want to happen.
Is what you want to happen?
Yeah,
Cool,
happy
cool,
ever
cool.
after.
Cool.
And then Leshwi will join, and her and Kaladin will be the first, like,
Yeah.
inter-species couple.
Oh my god. I'm digging it. I'm digging it.
Good.
I'm digging it. I'm
I
trying to think
want
what
to see their babies.
I think, yeah. Oh, you probably don't know this. Herdazians have stone fingernails because they are descended from human singer hybrids.
So it can happen.
Horn eaters are also descended from that because they have extra stone teeth in the back of their mouth, which is why they're called horn eaters, because they have the stone teeth.
So it can happen.
You've got so it can happen basically.
All right, I'm all right with this.
Yeah,
I want this.
Analnasium was like, hey, I want my kid, like my creations to bone, and I want them to be able to have kids together. Good old Analnasium.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm okay with all of this.
Excellent.
Maybe they restore the Shattered Plains to the sea it used to be.
Oh my god! The problem is I don't think we're ever gonna be able to disprove that Shattered Plains was a sea to you, unless we actually got a flashback in like Talna Ash's book of Narok before it got
It
shattered.
could also be like the tower, where I refuse to believe that is the sibling.
Oh yes.
Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
it also revealed that the tower is the third sibling. It's not a big Fabrial. It's an actual
it's like a
spren.
It's like a
It's one of the siblings.
It's complicated.
It's complicated.
Yeah.
Sorry, they didn't reveal it. It's just very heavily implied.
Very heavily implied that it's one big fabric. Ooh, actually, so one thing that she talks about in the earlier chapters is that soulcasters are spren.
Mm.
So there is the spren in Shadesmar that they said I think looks like radiant spren,
Yeah.
but like shadowed and like they can't really tell what it is. And so to me that kind of indicates that the Fabrials are spren like a Shardblade is spren.
Yeah.
And so the tower being the physical embodiment of the sibling,
Yeah.
it's like the tower is the sibling. Like the tower, it's not the spren of the sibling; it is the sibling, and like
Yeah.
yeah.
So
it's complicated.
Yeah, it's not explicitly explained, but it's very obvious that that's where
Yes.
that one is going.
Yes. But no, it's the hog, isn't it,
accept
Lucy?
Yeah.
It's the hog.
Yeah, it's Kusakesh.
It's
and the hog.
Kusakesh and the hog.
I refuse to accept otherwise. I will not be told otherwise. Brandon is very wrong.
Is Brandon wrong
The
on
tower
this?
is just a tower.
Yeah.
Nothing more.
Yeah. It's actually the arc it's going to go through in this book is that they're gonna have to accept it's not actually the third bondsmith spren.
I am a stick.
I am a stick. Cool. My predictions for this book. Oh my god, I don't even know what I want to say. How
There's too much.
How can I say, like, we've got everything going there. I can't wait to see more of Raboniel and the Pursuer. I am excited to see more of these fused.
Oh, also, one thing we missed is that before Leshwi talks to Raboniel and gives Raboniel her staff,
Yeah.
she's talking to the Pursuer,
Yes.
and Leshwi's like, he's going to convince her to go with him, because once he's with her on his mission, it cancels out the whole...
Because Raboniel's a higher rank than Leshwi is, so...
It cancels out her claim, and he will then kill
Pursue.
Kaladin in
Ethereal.
So that
Yes.
is going to happen. I think that is when Kaladin is going to swear the fourth ideal. And I think...
Did you... What?
Right.
Have you just had the Lyrian realization? No? Okay, keep going.
Realization?
So there's a theory that I think either Jess or Eric came up with, or both of them together. And their theory was that in order to swear the oath that he can't save everyone, Lyrian has to die. So that Kaladin will finally accept that, No? Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So, you know how we've been talking about the whole, baby with a knife to his throat?
Yeah.
The pursuer is coming to the tower.
You think...
I think the pursuer is going to have the baby with a knife to his throat.
Okay.
And Kaladin is going to have to say the fourth ideal of I can't save everyone because he can't save the baby.
Oh my god, okay. So I think you're forgetting the part where...
No, I'm not. He's wrong.
In the epigraph,
Brandon is wrong.
where it says that everyone on the world wants me to slit the baby's throat. I don't think everyone in the world wants the pursuer to slit Oridon's throat.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the thing.
I don't know. I just like the idea of it.
Fair enough.
Either way, I think that one of his family members is going to be in trouble from the
pursuer.
I think maybe the pursuer accepts that he can't kill Kaladin.
Yeah.
So instead he goes to kill one of Kaladin's family members. And Kaladin swears the fourth ideal.
Yeah.
And then murders. I think Kaladin... So the Fused talk about how they can be... The only way to get rid of the Fused is to trap them in gemstones like in Fabrials.
Oh yeah, because they're worried that's going to happen like what happened with Nergwell.
I think that Kaladin accidentally discovers this ability.
Ooh.
I think it's him that discovers... I think Dalinar is the one that can do it, and so is Yasna, and that's why they want them out of the picture.
He kills Moash, takes his knife, and starts stabbing Fused with it.
No. No, because that... that would work. But I quite like the idea of him accidentally... He swears the fourth ideal, and then he accidentally traps one of the Fused in a gemstone. Because maybe orders above the fourth can do it, and that's why they're scared of any radiance above the fourth.
So something that is talked about in the epigraphs is the way they trap Spren is by getting a little stormlight and taking it out, and then it creates a pressure differential.
Yeah. I think Kaladin does that.
Well, the Surge of Adhesion is terribly named. It's actually the Surge of pressure differentials. I can't remember what the word is.
There we go.
Yeah, it's that's how he was able to part the storm, being that's
cool.
when you stick stuff together, you're actually creating a vacuum between them.
So
yes.
I think that Kaladin swears the fourth ideal, accidentally traps the pursuer, and then realizes he can do that, and now takes this ability out and just starts trapping all the Fused.
Just start sucking off all those Fused.
Sucking off all the
Fused. Cool. Right, I think we're going to leave it there. I think we're done.
Well, that's where we're leaving this.
That's where we're leaving this.
Sucking off all the Fused.
So, thank you guys for watching. Leave a comment down below.
Of Yasna's ship name.
Of Yasna's ship names. That's, yes.
Yit.
Yit
is our best one.
If you've watched
Get a better one.
If you've watched this after reading Rhythm of War Part 1, comment down below what you think will happen soon. Hopefully we're going to be doing these one a week. We're going to try at least.
Yeah.
We'll let you know if
We're going to have to read a lot, mate.
We're going to have to read a lot quickly. We're both back at work now. We're going to be reading slower now. But
we're going to aim to get these out weekly still.
And so hopefully it'll be cool if you guys read along with us and and if that works out, and we'll see how it goes. So thank you guys for... Wait, actually, this comes out the day before Rhythm of War. Probably should mention the way that we were able to read this is because of the preview chapters were released by Tor.
Yeah.
So this actually comes out the day before Rhythm of War. So
get hype.
So tomorrow is your guys' day.
Woo!
It's the day. So let's go.